Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Other Controller podcast. I am Danny, also known as the Boom Bap. I'm here with Steady, Corndog, Merc, and Big Boy Brown. Welcome to this week's episode. We're going to talk about mainly Call of Duty, but we do have a couple of other topics that we want to get into. Who wants to get started this week?
Yo, real quick, when you said, hey guys, I almost responded. It's like out of instinct. Like it took me a second. I was like, oh wait, he's not talking to me.
That would have been fun. Got nothing wrong with that.
So what do we want to... Do we just want to... I feel like we should leave Call of Duty for last. That's like the meat and potatoes of this.
I mean, it's most relevant currently.
I haven't played it. I know you guys were super hype about it, but I was...
Yeah, so we could either lead with it or end with it, but it's going to be a bulk of the conversation.
I'd say let's end with it. Let's get into the small shit first and then get into Call of Duty last.
All right, so we'll leave my topic till then because it's basically about servers and stuff, and that's going to lead right into the COD launch and everything.
Okay, so let's get started with Brown. You want to talk about Capcom and
trying to relaunch some old titles, man?
Yeah,
dude, it's nuts because like they came out in a press release about 2 weeks ago, saying that they want to revive dormant games, like games that we haven't seen in a long time. So they had Monster Hunter out. They keep having Devil May Cry, Resident Evil 2 remake that we did play for a little bit. But I mean, like, what is your guys' thoughts on this, and what games would you like to see?
Don't worry, I am not Googling Capcom titles.
click.
So, I mean, just to name a few, though, like, you do have your, what is it, Dino Crisis, I think was a game they've had?
Yo, Dino Crisis was the shit.
Dino Crisis was like a reskinned version of fucking Resident Evil titles. It played with the same tank controls,
but it had dinosaurs.
But it was fun. But it was fun, and I wouldn't mind a new version of that.
And Darkstalkers, I don't even know what that game is.
You know what? I kind of want co-op in it though, like
in Dino Crisis.
Yeah, that would be cool as shit. Play with your friends and be chased by dinosaurs.
Did any of you guys play Resident Evil Outbreak on PS2?
No.
That was the first online one. You would play 4 players together, and you were playing online Resident Evil. I would love a modern version of that with like better servers and shit because it was really fucking fun.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead. Next question.
Not the same.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it like a better version of Left 4 Dead?
Was it third person?
I wouldn't compare them. It was very tank control, like the original. So like you can still do the over the shoulder like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. I'd be okay with that. But Left 4 Dead is more of just like first person shooter and get through and kill shit really easy. But like it's got to have the elements of Resident Evil, scarce ammo, headshots, shit like that.
So I just Googled the Capcom titles, and I'm on Wikipedia, and there's a couple of titles I really enjoy. I wouldn't mind seeing remakes. Like there's Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter, Onimusha, and I don't know if you guys ever played the Ace Attorney games.
No.
They're fun. It's like a lawyer game, but they're so over the top and dramatic.
They did an HD release last year for Onimusha. And Devil May Cry, awesome. they like we're still going forward with the story. They tried the relaunch with the DMC. But I don't know, I guess they didn't do too well. And we just was like, right now we're at 5.
They didn't have Dante as the main character. If they just did like a remake of the first one, I would have been for it, but it wasn't.
It was the same as like a reimagining of like, we're going to make them a little edgier, a little different design, shit like that. And yeah.
No, they were fun because they were over the top. The Onimusha series, though, I fucking love those. You guys ever play them?
Yeah, I played not all of them, but I think I played 1 and 2, and then I skipped one of them. And I played like the last one, where it was a totally different protagonist.
My only thing is, like, didn't they launch Monster Hunter World too long ago?
Yeah.
Last year?
It was I think it launched on console first, and then PC, if I'm not mistaken.
That's exactly what happened. Then they fucked up the PC realm.
So my thing is with this, it's not really anything new for me, because they have been releasing a lot of retro titles on the Switch. But I'm open to it. I mean, it's super sick, especially when because they're doing these compilations where they release the Mega Man collection, the Mega Man X collection, and they're set to release the Mega Man Zero ZX collection,
which is what I'm for.
It's cool, man. I mean, if obviously it seems like they hit their pinnacle as a company, and they're just kind of. I would say, like, for lack of a better term, they're kind of like, I guess they lost it, and they're just trying to keep money afloat so they can work on new IPs. At least that's what I think this strategy is. But I'm not mad at it completely. We could see some cool remakes. So I don't think it's a bad thing overall.
Real quick, speaking of Mega Man, I bought this not too long ago. Hold on. I love Mega Man. And this thing's fucking dope. It's him and Mandrill.
That's cool.
I just gotta get it framed.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I have the Mega Man X collection on the Switch, and then they've beaten Street Fighter 2 into the ground with as far as like re-releases are concerned. So I mean, it doesn't seem off-brand for them to make a press release to say that they're re-releasing shit, but like I said, if they come with like maybe a remake of an older Strider or something like something besides a Street Fighter, I'd be down for it. Because I don't know how many times we could buy fucking Street Fighter 2 Alpha.
I mean, I don't know if you guys ever remember, was it Metal Slug? Is that a Capcom game?
I think
so.
it was
Super
Capcom
over
and
the
SNK.
Okay, yeah, because
It's definitely SNK.
Yeah, SNK sounds familiar. I just don't know if it was Cap. If they start doing those again, I'd be down.
Those are fun. Those are
shit.
really good, like arcade titles to play. Definitely
Metal
fucking
Slug.
fun. Metal Slug. That's the one where it was a 2D side scroller, and you were
I remember
soldiers.
playing this on
Fucking violent,
computer.
real fucking fun.
remember you get like rockets and there's a helicopter that always fucked me up.
Super over the top, and then like when the enemies got close, you would pull out the knife and like cut out their entrails and shit.
Yeah, dude, it's just extra.
I wish they'd remake a Puzzle Fighter. That was the shit.
No, the Mortal Kombat version of the Tetris Combat thing. You guys remember that?
No.
I think it was like a mini game in Deadly Alliance or Armageddon.
Oh no, I do remember this. Yes,
It was fucking awesome, and they had a chess version too.
That sounds
Like when your people would like collide on the chessboard, you'd have to fight them to take over.
Yeah,
the piece.
I remember that. So that's kind of like, this is like super off topic, but I wish Mortal Kombat would go back to how it was with like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Mortal Kombat Deception, instead of it just being like just fighting. I missed the story aspect of it.
I heard
feel
the
like
new one had a good story. I haven't played it. My brother said it was very entertaining.
For what? For Street Fighter?
No, the new Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like Warner Brothers fucked that up.
I missed the mini games.
I think I might have down a little too far. Like, if there was a game relaunch, what is one game you would like to see? Doesn't even matter like who owns the game. Like, just if
Legend of Dragoon.
I was talking about like a reimagining or just like reviving where they left off and keeping going forward with it.
Either or. I mean, some games did get left off in a pretty shitty place.
I've been talking about this since episode 1. A new fucking Time Splitters. All I want, dude. Fuck.
I'm waiting to see this shit on the news or like see a random like ad for it and then just give you a call and send it to you and just watch you scream.
No, so okay. So apparently Volition, they've acquired Time Splitters, and I don't know how many times they're gonna say that it's gonna happen and it's not gonna happen, but I think this is like maybe the 4th time they said that it's actually gonna happen soon. So I mean, not holding my breath, but it'd be really cool if they could get their shit together and get it released.
I'm telling you, Legend of Dragoon. People have been asking for a Legend of Dragoon 2 since the game came out.
What the hell is this game?
It's like Final Fantasy. It was like a lot like Final Fantasy 7. It came out in '99, but the combat was awesome. It was like a rhythm-based combat. So you'd have a square in the center, and then a square would come down from the corners, and you had to hit X at the right time, and you do your attack. And that's how you do your combos. So like in a fight, you could actually lose because you weren't good enough. Like you could be strong enough and kick the guy's ass, but if you couldn't hit the button at the right time, you'd die.
It's like turn-based DDR.
Essentially. And like, as you do combos, you unlock new combos.
Did you know that on the controller it's not X, it's cross?
No one gives a shit, it's an X. Pyro doesn't look at his map and be like, oh, cross marks the spot.
He was ready and waiting.
Okay. Okay. Use the fuck out of me.
He's had that one in his pocket for a while. Like he was waiting for somebody to come up with some shit like that.
Yo, to be fair, off the dome,
Get Get the
I've been
fuck
waiting.
out of here. You know you've been
No,
waiting to
dude,
say
you've
that.
been
I've
sitting on that
never
for
had that.
quite
You've
some
been
fucking
sitting on
time.
that for like 5 years.
5 years.
He was on the
That thing
shitter
got
and he
brought up
thought
like
about it.
what,
He's like,
2
oh,
months
fuck.
ago.
It's like I'm waiting for a motherfucker to come out and call it X and
No,
not cross. And
he
it's
lost.
Like, all right,
He lost an
I'm crossing
argument.
that
Like
X.
you know how when you lose an argument, and then you have to think of like, fuck, I should have said that.
Yeah, you spend like the
That
next
happened.
week thinking about fuck. If I would have said this, I would have shut that fucker up.
Yeah. Yep.
Y'all
Touche.
trying to doubt my wit? Come on now.
Honestly, the only thing I would look forward to in terms of games, though, is if they brought back So they brought back WoW Classic, which is but I didn't really start in Classic. If they brought it for like Wrath of the Lich King or BC, I'd be way more excited and having a lot more fun than I am now. That's what I want.
I was
Bring
hoping
back those
that
servers, dude. Bring back those servers.
ArenaNet would see how well Classic WoW did and then relaunch Guild Wars.
That too. That wouldn't be bad.
Aren't those
They
two
never
different
closed their
companies?
servers. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was hoping they'd be like, "Oh, that's a good idea," and then do it. But they never shut down their servers.
Oh,
Like,
okay. So
it's-
it wouldn't be much of a relaunch, but more like just breathing new life into it, if anything.
It would just be like advertising it. Because I looked into it and they're like, well, it doesn't hurt us like business wide or financially to have them open, so there's no point of us shutting them down. Like people still play it. We're not going to be like, hey, fuck you, couple thousand. Was that a appropriate amount of shade?
I think that's fair enough.
I would love to see more Metal Gear Solid games, but after Konami basically fucked themselves over with the whole Kojima thing, we're never going to get any more games in that franchise. That kind of sucks, but like Kojima's out there doing his own shit. We have Death Stranding coming out soon, which will be, I don't know. It's something new and different from him, but I still would like to see Metal Gear Solid games, under him, but it's never going to happen ever again.
I
Is
never
that
played
the-
past 3.
Is that the Norman Reedus game?
Yeah, that's the UPS simulator.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to confirm, because I remember watching the trailer for this, and it was literally a minute of him walking through different landscapes.
It's
and then
mind
just, like,
fucked.
shit.
We don't know what the fuck the game's about. All I know is he seems to be an interdimensional delivery guy. That's cool, I guess.
Fuck that game. I'm not looking at that shit.
Hey, if Euro Truck Simulator can pop off, this will be fine.
Like, it's got ghosts, it's got fucking weird skeleton World War II soldiers, and I'm just over here like, yeah, sure, Kojima's making it. Sign me up.
Oh, speaking of new titles getting launched, didn't Overwatch 2 get announced today?
Did it?
Did it? Oh, don't
Yeah.
tell me this shit, because if that's the case, then they didn't release Diablo 4. I'm coming for bodies.
Or they're saying that they're going to announce more at BlizzCon.
No,
but
okay,
it's happening.
yeah. So ESPN said that I've heard this morning too. Said that they got documents that apparently they're going to reveal Overwatch 2 soon. So it hasn't been officially announced, but there's sources saying that it's going to be announced soon, which they're like fucking 4 years almost too late. Overwatch is fucking like dead and buried already.
But is it though? Like, aren't there still esport competitions and everything surrounding it?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, the OWL is still big.
and they still have a healthy player base playing the game, right?
I think so. Like, I don't follow that esports very well. Well, speaking of esports, the League World Tournament's going on. I know, right?
Yeah.
And they got knocked out in groups because we're amazing. My pick'ems are fucked. Korea's gonna win.
Look, I skipped out on the first Overwatch. If they do announce another one, it may be something to consider getting into.
It's not a bad
Don't get me wrong, dude. Overwatch is the shit when you first get into it, but it gets kind of old after a while.
Speaking of Overwatch type fucking shit, though, have you guys seen the trailers or anything for Project A by Riot?
A little bit when they were doing their huge ass announcement. Because
Dude.
they're smart for when they announced all that shit.
Dude, it looks so good. So
Like-
it's like, so Riot made League of Legends, right? And they're trying to just broaden their horizon by making other shit. They came out with Teamfight Tactics, which is going to turn into its own game. And then they did a press release for this game called Project A thus far. Like, they don't have the actual name, I'm assuming. It is
not
a
that I
mix
know of.
between Overwatch, like CSGO. So it's a first-person shooter, but you have abilities that you can swap out.
Shit, who makes it?
Riot Games.
Riot Games.
Yo, I'm looking at this. The graphics look pretty cool.
Yeah, so like I was watching one of them. Like one of them looks right up my alley. Like the person that's shooting, like they have little wind walls and stuff, and they can use like jumps forward to sneak around corners quickly. It just looks super, super nice. It looks clean, to be honest.
Did you see all the other shit Riot announced?
No, I did not.
Oh my god. So, the reason I'm saying that they're smart is because Blizzard had that huge thing with China, right? And everyone's like, all died. Blizzard's stupid. And Riot comes out, and it looks like they were planning to kind of compete with them for a while because they made TFT, which is like a shot at the Dota auto chess thing. Now they're making Project A, and they have a fighting game coming out that they're working on, like almost like a Tekken, but with League of Legends characters. They're bringing a version of Summoner's Rift to your mobile phone. They're bringing TFT to your mobile phone. They had some other shit. I don't remember what the fuck it was. They announced like 6 different games.
Yeah, I just linked the video for it if you want to watch the trailer for it. It looks really nice, though.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It looks really cool. It does look like, as far as graphics are concerned, it looks a little bit Overwatch-esque as far as like the graphics are concerned, which I'm not too mad about.
They just super dope. Like one of them has like little throwing knives you can jump up in the air and just nuke people with.
Oh, anime. They announced they're going to make a League of Legends anime. Sorry. It does look very Overwatchy.
Which I'm not mad about. I think it looks actually really cool.
Yeah, I'm about this. They release it and it's a free title? Boy.
Yeah, this should be a pretty big hit. Hopefully it doesn't launch like Riot Games is right now. Because, I mean, League is shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't mind ARAMs and when Earth comes out. Like, that's the only 2 times I play that game now.
I actually just hit plat last week.
Nice, dude. Sure.
That's the highest I've ever been.
I don't think I've ever played a Riot game title.
They have one.
Yeah, all they have right now is League of Legends.
Oh yeah, I've never played.
Yeah, their big thing is we're adding the S to Riot Games. So we're going to launch a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, because currently it's Ryan Game.
Yeah, essentially.
Sounds so dumb. But I mean, at least looking at the trailer, like, what do you guys do you think you're going to play it when it comes out? Or you
Absolutely.
Think you're
I'd be down. Hell yeah, I'd be down.
I like Riot Games. So of course I'm going to.
Yeah, I was like, I will 100% invest some time.
Oh, know what this kind of reminds me of? It fucking flopped hard on the PlayStation.
Oh,
Battle something? Battleborn?
Yes, Battleborn. That was not Ubisoft. Who fucking made it?
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but it came out. The timing was just really bad when it came out.
I thought it was a lot of fun. This the art style looks a lot like that.
Oh, it came out in 2016 by Gearbox.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm hyped for this, dude. If it comes out and it's a free to play, dude, game over.
I'd play it. But I don't know, dude. Because I don't know, dude. Because free to play games, like, they're cool once you get into them, but then they turn to shit. So if they can sustain like an Overwatch type gameplay throughout the lifespan of the game, I'd be down. But if as soon as it goes to shit, I'll probably just get over it.
I mean, a lot of them do relatively well. Like, think about what is it, top 5 of anything that's being streamed currently. Apex, which is free to play, and then League of Legends has been up there since it's come out. Hearthstone is another one that's probably averaging like top 10 every once in a while. All 3 of those are free to play titles.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll ever lack in content. I mean, League has been out since 2012, and they've released a patch like every 2 weeks since it came out. So I'm hoping that when they release all of these games, at some point they don't start lacking in other ones. They're like, all right, we're only going to focus on the ones that are doing well. Hopefully they can expand their teams and keep everything updated, but I doubt it. Fuck, I want to play Legend of Dragoon again. Fuck you for making me think about it.
No, this definitely does look interesting. I would definitely get behind this. Obviously give it a shot, especially if it is going to be a free-to-play, like, you don't lose anything just trying it out.
No, I think it would be definitely worth the time to at least just take a look at it. If you don't like it, uninstall. You're not out $60.
There's like no risk for, of course, I would try it. Plus, I mean, it looks good too. So, I mean, that has...
Yeah, you lose some time at most, and that's nothing, you know? I'll say that one person that's like, no, my time is really valuable.
Time is money, baby. Ain't that the saying?
There we go.
All right. Do you what are your guys' topics, Mark? Or how many do you guys even have topics this week?
Not really. I mean, I was going to talk about Worlds and how it's been going, but
Don't you have a story that you were going to let us know for the podcast?
Did I?
Oh, dude, what the fuck? You have to talk about the fucking the
my
rodeo.
God, my rodeo experience.
Oh.
Mark, were you here for this?
Mark,
I
are
don't
you
think
here
it
now?
was.
Mark, are you dead?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, I wasn't here a couple episodes ago because I was in Louisiana with my mom. We went and saw a rodeo down at the Angola State Prison. And it was a prison rodeo, so the inmates are all serving like life sentences, and they just throw them on bulls and shit, and they're just like, ride them. They give them no training. There's like interviews with the warden, and he's like, well, if we give them a helmet and a vest, they're fine. And that's all they get. So the trip down there was awesome, but we get there and we're like 3 miles from the gate on the GPS, and we're stuck in traffic, like stop and go traffic. We're like, there's no way this is the line to get into the gate. And it was. And like as we're getting like a mile and a half away, a dude on an ATV and a chick on the backs going car to car, just handing out flyers. And we're like, what the fuck is this? And it's a rule list, like what you can and can't bring in. And on it, you're not supposed to bring cell phones in, and it's just crossed out with a Sharpie. And I'm like, you couldn't like reprint these? This was so last minute.
Wait, real quick, which prison was it?
Angola State Prison.
Yep, it's on YouTube.
You goddamn right. So we're looking at it and we're like, well, it looks like you can bring cell phones in this time. So we get to the gate and they're just like waving people through to go park. And we're like, that's sketchy. But they own like 4,000 acres or something like that. It's ridiculous. It took us 10 minutes just to get to the parking spot by the fucking rodeo. So we get out and we're walking up and there's like a cinder block hut looking thing where you have to check your bag and like they look at it and we're like, yep, it's okay. And we go to this little chain link fence and there's this lady standing there and she's like, tickets. So I hand her my ticket and she rips it and gives it back. We go through the chain link fence and there's another woman, policewoman, corrections officer. And she's like asking everyone, she's like, your pocket's empty? Your pocket's empty? Your pocket's empty? Not checking them, by the way, just asking. And she looks at me, doesn't say anything, so I just hold my ticket up. And she waves me through, and I'm like, don't tell me that was fucking gate security. So I look to my right, and there's all the inmates, just like fucking right there. And I'm like, y'all can just like leave, I guess. And they do an art show. So if you have 10 years consecutive of good behavior, you're allowed to sell art. So they have like paintings and like wood carvings and leather making, wood and all this awesome shit. So I bought a wallet from a guy who killed his wife for $30.
What?
It's got a stamp. Hold on. I'll read it. He's got a little leather stamp in here. Designed and handcrafted by Ralph Dawson. 119581. That's his inmate number. Louisiana State Penitentiary. Life without parole since 1986. That holds my money. So that's like the first spot of all this art shit. You go to the back of the rodeo, there's another spot of art. These are the not so well behaved inmates that are still allowed to sell shit because they're behind a cage. And like all of their art's just in the center and they like fucking catcall you as you're trying to buy their stuff. And like this one dude, like he was selling belts and he's like, yo man, this belt, this is screaming you. And I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, man, what are you, like a 38? And I was like, no, I'm like a 40, bro. I'm fat. And he's like, no, we gonna slim that down. You can wear this. And I'm like, is this guy hitting on me? And then my mom was like all with it. I was like, my mom's trying to get me laid in a prison by some inmate dude.
No, she's not trying to get you laid. She's trying to get him laid.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Letting you know, hey, sex is cardio too, right?
God damn.
Yikes.
Did you feel a little flustered when he was trying to sell you the belt? Like, how did you feel?
Well, I was like, I don't want to buy the belt. I already bought a fucking wallet. The belt wasn't even good. All the holes weren't like lined up. They were like fucking staggered.
But he was spitting game. The question is, did it work? Like, did you consider buying it? Just okay, gotcha.
You're degrading this man's homemade belt as if he had the tools and the time to teach himself.
And the know-how.
Yeah, he had the time, had no fucking know-how. He doesn't have YouTube like the rest of us.
They have tablets.
Nor the tools. They have tablets in this prison?
They have like classes and shit, and they like you can get a degree while you're in jail, by the way.
Yeah, I figured this out a couple days ago. But
Yeah, like that's something you can do.
Yeah, that's always been
So
one of the bigger issues people complain about with the prison system. Like here, we don't rehabilitate people like other countries do.
No, you can do it. You can go to jail, and like people go to jail for a better life. It don't matter. On to the actual rodeo. So the rodeo itself, I've never been to a rodeo, so I don't know what to expect. These inmates are fucking bananas. They're seriously, they don't care. Like, oh, if I die, I'm gonna die in here anyway, you know? So in reverse order of the 3 people that got knocked the fuck out, the last one to get knocked out was the last event. It's called Poker Chip. And this is the biggest bull I've ever seen in my fucking life. And they tie a poker chip to the bull's head. And all the inmates participating go out into the ring, and they're like, okay, grab the chip. If you get it, you win today, you know? And so this one inmate was like walking real slow up to it, like trying to be calm, and the bull body checks him, just
God damn it.
just fucking headbutts him in the chest, and the dude goes out fucking T-Rex armed and everything. I was like, oh, that guy's dead. You know, and like another dude gets a chip, and like you can see the guy in the back getting held off on a stretcher, and his arm's just limp, hanging off the end of it. I'm like, he's dead. Another dude that got knocked out was a rodeo clown. Got launched like 15 feet in the air and landed on his head and started puking blood.
Jesus Christ. Are the clowns also inmates?
No, the clowns are like professional rodeo clowns. They were really funny. The first person that get knocked out was actually kind of scary because it was an 8-year-old. Because this is like a big event. So they had like the local junior barrel racing come in and do like, you know, runs. And for those of you who don't know, barrel racing it's mainly women, I think. And this was a junior division, so it was like 8 to 16-year-olds. They come out on their horse and they do a little figure 8. Then they run up the little ring to another barrel and they go around it and they sprint to the finish. This 8-year-old comes out and she's fucking killing it. She's hauling ass around the figure 8, goes to the last barrel and gets flung off her horse. just whew! And her foot gets caught. And her foot gets caught in her stirrup, so she like leaves the horse, but she stays on it. So she's hanging off the side of the horse, and everyone like stands up and they're like, "Oh!" So I didn't get to see what happened, but when she comes in front of us, she's just totally lifeless, just flopping. And I was like, "Okay." In my head, either she went limp so she wouldn't get hurt, or the horse kicked her in the head and knocked her the fuck out, or the horse ran her into the fence and knocked her the fuck out.
Fuck.
And like the horse comes by and an inmate came out of nowhere. I'm like, you can tell this guy has a daughter on the outside because he about fucking Brian Urlachered this horse to stop it. So they get the girl up and they pick her up and she's still just limp. And I'm like, oh, she's fucking out. And like, out come her grandparents from like the backstage area. And like the grandma's doing like the southern freak out grandma thing. She's like grabbing her pearls and like falling down and standing up and like looking to the sky and falling down. She's freaking the fuck out. And the grandpa's just like walking in a straight line with his hands in his pockets. Like, I don't know if he knew where he was type shit. But they said she was talking when they got her on the stretcher. So I'm like, cool. She's gonna not remember why she's here, but she's living. So if any of you ever get the chance, Angola State Prison, $20 gets you the entertainment of a lifetime.
So you know 110% like the little girl made it and
yeah, she's fine.
Alright, cool. So I can laugh. Alright.
So you can lie.
Laugh, so I can laugh.
Oh, I thought you said so I can lie. And
No,
I'm like,
no.
What are you gonna make this title
so I can laugh and not feel completely terrible about it.
Oh, it was fun, man. And those rodeo clowns say some racy shit. I mean, they got away with a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but that's Louisiana.
And a prison.
Yeah. Oh, here's another fun fact that I found out on the way down there. So, in Louisiana, it is still traditional for the man to be the main breadwinner of the household. So, most of the corrections officers are all female. Or most of them are. And they only get paid $12 an hour. I make more than that cleaning dishes. So, last year, they had a huge drug buzz because they, like, smuggle the dope in and out because they make more. I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm coming to this prison. Oh, and when you're leaving, they just like open the gate and let you walk out. I'm like, you guys realize these are murderers, right?
I mean, there's two sides to every story, guy.
And the warden says it's like that because he stocks the woods around the area with bears and wolves, and all the bodies of water have alligators.
What the fuck?
Bro,
That's
Louisiana's a weird place. There's just no laws.
Like, it feels like some really fucked up, like, a reality escape show and
Yeah,
shit.
like some
Bro,
shit out of a movie.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Jesus
Bro,
Christ.
I had such a great time.
You got hit on. You got a wallet. You had a very interesting weekend.
I did. We listened to old-timey radio shows about cop dramas.
I thought you were going to say Old Time Road. I was like, what?
Yeah. My mom found like a Sirius XM station where they play like back in the 40s. Like every night they'd have like, that was their TV show, you know? They were just played over the radio, so like they'd all gather around the radio and listen to the shit. Like, oh, what's gonna happen with Detective Chuck Berry or whatever the fuck it is? Chuck Berry, isn't that a blues singer?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, he was from, I think he was from that movie, Cadillac Records.
Was it? I don't know. Either way, they were funny. There's like one where just like, dude's just like, lady, you're a cow. And like, then the story ended. 40s were a fun time too.
It's like old school podcast, if you think about it.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I think we got stalked by some like frat boy fathers. That was fun.
What?
We like pulled up to a rest stop at night, and my mom was like, "You got to be careful. You're going to get raped out here." And I was like, "No, there's a father." And it was like a dude, like a priest looking dude, in like a minivan next to us who was backing out. And she was like, "No, those are the type who touch little boys." And we're like, "Ha ha ha ha," just having a giggle. And like we walk up to the little spot to take a piss, and another father comes out. He's got like robes and like chains and shit, and we're like, "Oh shit, we should probably be serious. This looks like some shit's about to go down." So he gets in a minivan, and now as I'm walking into the bathroom, a third father walks out with his robes and chains and shit, and the dude in the minivan's like honking his horn, like trying to get him to hurry up. And I was like, I feel like those weren't actually fathers.
Maybe they're from the KKK or some shit like that.
I feel like there were just like some frat boys like in a Halloween costume.
Yikes.
I saw a meth head dancing in a parking lot by himself.
Fuck yeah.
Bro, he was getting it too.
Oh, shit.
Road trips, man. America's a weird place. Let me correct that. The South is a weird place.
Yeah, that's a time capsule guy. He went literally back probably 150 years for no fucking reason.
I went to a prison to watch a rodeo.
It's like, what fucking year is it?
In 2019. And apparently it's not the only one. I was like, other states do this wild shit? We're a video game podcast. What are we doing?
This should be like a recurring segment. Like you go and you just review them.
Welcome to Corndog's Prison Rodeo. Oh, that sounds like a weird porno, doesn't it?
Yikes.
Bro, that's my favorite thing about this wallet I got in prison. I bought a prison wallet.
Wait.
No, that's not. You can't do that, dude.
Because he's going to go up to people, he's going to say that shit, they're going to give him the look like, what the fuck, you bought what? And then he's going to pull out the wallet, and it's like,
That's funny. That's really funny.
Hey, you guys want to see my prison wallet? What the fuck? And then he just pulls out the wallet.
And I reach in my back pocket, and they're like, "No, what are you grabbing?"
Yeah.
Like, you digging real deep for a back pocket.
I said, do you want to see my prison wallet? And it's like, oh, man.
He pulls out a fucking football from his jail wallet.
Alright, so one of the tags for this video is definitely going to be prison wallet. So, yo, we got 36 hits off of prison wallet for some fucked up reason.
And then we look at the analytics, it's all from a fucking jail tablet.
It's gonna be the YouTube moderators. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening on this channel?"
Comment section going to be, I thought this was a tutorial on prison wallets.
I'm like 45 minutes in. I'm just still waiting for the end.
Fuck, dude.
Oh, that's a real tear.
Shit.
Prison wallets and Capcom coming to a show near you.
Oh, man.
You know what word I found out is really funny today? You ever watch that movie Balto?
The one with the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't Balto a fucking funny word?
Not really.
What?
Not
Yeah, how would you
particularly.
walk?
Wait,
If you had
what?
a Balto? If you had a Balto, how would you
I'm
walk?
done.
Oh my god!
That's a funny fucking
That's
word.
steady. Sometimes he has to put him in his shoes.
Oh man.
That's why he got that onesie to keep him contained.
Bro, let's look at
Please
this.
Please don't make me start laughing at that shit again.
That's a onesie stream coming this weekend.
Where's my pictures?
Yeah. Oh,
fuck you,
it's
guy.
deleted.
I know, I saved
Oh
it.
wait, I know where it's at.
God damn it.
It get deleted because I had to do a full fresh install. There it is.
There's my thing.
I have to mail Corndog an industrial magnet.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Just fucking-
Oh yeah, Merc hasn't seen it yet.
God
I just
fucking.
appreciate the fact that you have a grown man in the face, but your height is 14-year-old. That is the best fucking thing in the world, dude. I'm gonna see this shit on stream and start crying again.
It's so funny. Oh shit.
Fuck.
So boom,
This
what
is-
the hell is the analog pocket?
Yeah, we're supposed to talk
So-
about video games.
So I think it's pretty cool. So it's like so first of all, Analog, they're known for making like remakes of classic systems with using original hardware, like original capacitors, original boards. So I guess with this, they're trying to take a leap into making their own system, kind of. So the Analog Pocket, it's essentially it's a way to play your retro like handheld games, like the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Sega Game Gear, Atari Lynx, and it's a way to play them like with new hardware, and it's a way to connect it to your TV in like a dock manner. So, which I think is pretty cool. It shows that like Nintendo's model. Although some can argue saying that it was Steam first that did that, like Steam device or whatever that could hook up to the TV. But it seems like that model is like catching on to other companies because it's going to be a handheld system to play like all your retro games, but you can also connect it to a dock. And what I thought was like really cool is that they're partnering with 8-Bit Dough. Like the people that make the like new style SNES controllers, and you can use those natively with that dock instead of like trying to figure out some like random USB controller to use. Overall, I think it's like it's a really cool way because I still have older Game Boy Advanced, pretty much everything except the Atari Lynx. I still have them. And that's a way that I can stream them and I'd be able to play it as well. I thought it was super cool. The only thing that's kind of iffy is it comes in at $199. So, and I don't know if
Too
that's
bad for a handheld.
but I don't know if that's including the dock as well.
It says dock to be announced. I'm sure that's probably going to be a separate device that they sell.
I mean, I've already set up for them to send me emails when it comes out because I think I'm going to get it just to do like maybe a review on it and B to stream like older Game Boy Advance games that I have. Like, and then like though you can get like a Retron or whatever like to play your older games, but I think because based on their track record, this will probably have no latency. Whereas like all those other third-party devices to play your retro games have like visible latency.
You got to hit him up with that. Hey, send me a review copy. We'll I'll thoroughly review it, put it up on YouTube and all that good stuff.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I appreciate the fact that you think that I have the following for that, but I doubt it.
It should be hilarious. Like, boom gets it, and the review's like, "Yo, this shit's pretty fire." So moving on to the next topic, it's like, "Oh, all right."
Show me some fucking respect. Have you not seen my shitty shoe reviews on YouTube?
No. Were they? These sound great.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I think it's pretty cool. I'm honestly thinking about getting one. Just like I said, to another thing for me to stream.
It's cool, but I think, like, me personally, I've been already spoiled with nostalgia tech coming back out at around the $100 price point. So the $200 is a little steep, but it is a pocket device. So I guess it has that above the Nintendo Classic, the PlayStation Classic, the not 64, the Super Nintendo Classic, because those all you still need a monitor or TV. This is, a handheld on the go. So I see the price to be a little higher. I don't know. It's something I would consider.
Absolutely. It covers a huge array of, I guess, platforms too.
Only that, but another thing that, like, I think about, like, it's obviously like super, like, micro, like, community within the gaming community. But I'm interested to see, like, what kind of crazy homebrews would come out for this.
They make other shit too, the same company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I understand the $199 price point because of their track record. If you look at their other devices they have, it's like high quality pieces of hardware. So I mean, it does kind of suck that you're going to be paying $199, but it won't be that hard to deal with because you're getting something that's worth the money, in my opinion, based on past reviews that I've seen. And if you look at their past work, the machines or their equipment looks gorgeous, and it looks like a modernized version of the original equipment. So I feel like they're taking a leap with the Pocket, but I feel like it's gonna pay off, and I want to see what else they can do. As far as like what's the next thing they're gonna bring back, with all of these like retro consoles that they're making.
I mean, I like the idea. It's definitely gonna be a huge nostalgia kick. Like, could you imagine playing OG Pokemon in this day and age without buying old shit?
I have the original 3 in my desk. As soon as it comes out, that's the first thing I'm gonna play.
Yeah, for like reasons like that, it's a huge play. Like, I would definitely probably pick something up and play something old like that.
What about you, Mark? Do you have anything you want to discuss or bring up?
I'm waiting for a Call of Duty discussion. That's the only thing that I've really been on.
Mark's over there in his chair, rocking back and forth. Like, come on, let's talk COD. Let's go. All right, so before we talk COD, I'm fucking annoyed with AAA games coming out and having horrible fucking launch days. And I'm like, they know how many copies they sell beforehand, or at least they have a general understanding of the traffic they're going to be generating launch night. It doesn't make any fucking sense that it took us, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to finally be able to get in and connect to a server and play the fucking game on launch night. Like, it always fucking happens, and everyone's quick to give out a pass and give out an excuse. And we always hear the same bullshit on Twitter, which is, oh, we're looking into it. Looking into what? What magical fucking switch did you flip in an hour and a half that you could not have had already in place before your servers went live?
That's going to be a problem for many years to come, my guy.
Like, it's infuriating. Like, you buy the fucking game and it's like, all right, cool, launch night. You guys set the time. You told us what time the servers go live, right? How are you not ready for the shit that you had control over as to when you set the launch time?
I mean, it happens so frequently. It makes me think that I think they do it on purpose.
Part of it feels like, it throttles people. Like, for instance, let's say 1 million people try to connect at 9:00. Half the people may get pissed off and say, I'll come back tomorrow, and then maybe it eases up overall. I don't know, but it feels shitty. No, but like, you get, like, the way that I'm thinking about it is like that, the way that they do, like, oh man, I can't get in, and that brings like a way for them to make, or a way for this is the way I'm thinking about it, at least, a way for the people that they pay to create content. That's a way for them to have their avenue of like, hey, I got it first.
come and watch the stream while you guys are waiting to get in, if that makes sense. Because I think I was watching Nate Shop play at like 2 hours pre-launch. So there's no fucking way that the servers just miraculously fucked up when everybody went in. They did it on the beta just fine.
That's a good example. The beta we played and we had a great experience during the beta, connecting wise. We're not even talking about gameplay yet or anything like that. Just being able to download it, launch the game, get in. There were some small problems with lobbies, like us staying in a room together. Sometimes we'd get randomly disconnected, which we're still experiencing. But overall, it was a smoother experience than launch night.
That's true. Very true.
And this is Activision, and like they have the know-how on running fucking MMOs and all this other shit. How do you not fucking have a smooth launch? I don't know. Maybe it's something that I'm just not understanding, that I'm overlooking, but it happens quite often with these AAA titles. You get the game, you preload a week in advance, whatever the fuck the case is, and then trying to connect to the server launch night is disastrous, and you got to give yourself an extra hour to 2 hour buffer before you could actually fucking play the game.
Yeah, and I feel like launch night's important for every game as far as like the consumer, because everyone's trying to get on with their friends. They stood outside, GameStop, or they just, set their pre-download and ready to play, and then you got the fucking servers going down, and bigger streamers aren't having the same problem we are. Like,
that's what the hour and a half, 2 hour wait that we had before we could finally get in kind of felt like, I guess, like being on the line at GameStop, because all we did was shoot the shit. Like, we were already live on stream, so it was an hour and a half of me streaming connection errors, and all of us just hitting, refresh, try to connect, and all this bullshit, and we just bullshitted for like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in that sense, it wasn't all bad. Definitely like super fucking annoying, but I feel like, and that's just me like that's like putting the tinfoil hat on, like thinking that's a way that they're trying to use that as like a marketing scheme. Like, oh, you can't get it because everybody's trying to get in at once. The game is so hot. Like, Yeah,
like I'm not even blaming Activision alone. Like many companies go through this shit, and I just don't fucking get it. Why, like, you get, and it's funny, the same amount of people that were trying to connect that launch night were obviously connecting the very next day and over the weekend, but there were no problems past then. There were, no queue problems, nothing else. Everything was smooth. Why that initial window of the launch hour and a half, everything was royally fucked?
Yeah, that shit's just gonna live on forever, dude.
I mean, speaking about the beta, how do you guys feel about the difference from the beta to like actual gameplay? Like, as far as like connectivity, I don't think we should really get into that, because it's obviously going to be an issue, I think, at least for the first couple of weeks, because this is like Activision's, like, what is it? This is their first time where they have like this massive cross-plat of like a shooter in this way. So I mean, it comes with a territory. They need to get it fixed. But like, what do you feel as far as like gameplay is concerned?
All right, so personally, I'm not noticing much of a difference between what lured me in the beta to the final game. Things still feel the same. I'm enjoying the gunplay. I'm noticing it could be hit or miss, but like the day we started playing it, Friday or Thursday night or whatever, some guns seem to have hit a little harder. And then over the weekend, I feel it takes a little more of a fucking hit marker registration to get the kills. But there have been some patches in between. I don't know if they've talked about balancing or anything just yet. But from the initial night we played and beta, things felt pretty similar to me.
Mark? My bad. Sorry. I'm trying. Hold on. Give me a second.
We're here. Continue on. Handle business.
No. I'm saying, like, what are your guys' thoughts?
No, I mean, I probably played the least out of everybody here. I still have the game up. I think an hour, 30 minutes of game time. I mean, thus far, it seems like it pretty much stayed the same. I already knew the AUG was going to be a piece of shit, so I wasn't expecting much from that. I haven't got to play with like all the other weapons that were in the beta, so I'm not 100% sure. In terms of what Steady was talking about, like shitty servers, that's never going to go away, but gameplay wise, I'm enjoying it a lot.
So as far as like, I feel, and obviously out of the panel, I feel like I'm the only one that feels like this. I feel like it's completely different from what we played in the beta. At least in my opinion, what we were playing in the beta felt like all of the other Call of Duties that we played prior to the like run and jump bullshit of Black Ops 2, what was it, Advanced Warfare, and all that other dumb shit. And with the beta, we were getting that old like Modern Warfare 2 feels, like Modern Warfare where it's boots on the ground. Everything seems to be the way that it should, as far as like coming from my experience playing. Like Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite game of all time. I went through, because I remember my Xbox used to eat up the game, so I went through 3 copies of it. I was that obsessed with the game. And it feels like what they did with the beta, they were trying to hook us in to get back into their ecosystem. But what they did with the game is it's getting away from like the run and gun, like guns out, running everywhere, really fast, like really fast aiming, fast shooting, and all of that. And it's transitioning into a little bit more of a strategic game, as far as like where you have to hide behind corners, mount your gun, and like you have to do a lot more of a balancing act with your gun build, as opposed to just fucking throwing stopping power, throwing bling, and like just loading up your gun with whatever you had then. Now there's like give and take with everything that you do when you're adding attachments onto the gun. So I feel like it's different from the beta. Initially I was salty as fuck because I was like, man, dude, I just want to get in, fucking kill people, get like 30 fucking kill games and all this shit. But now that I'm like, I've had about like 20 hours in the game, yes, it's annoying as fuck that some games you're super hot, some you get like 2 kills. But I feel like it's moving in a direction that's better than what the old Call of Duty was. It's actually maturing. It's not fucking going back to where you're just jumping around and sliding all over the fucking place, and then it just being like a big clusterfuck.
There's matches that still feel that way, but is it the game at that point that you're referring to, or is it like the play style of the individual that's contributing to that?
Yeah, I mean, my one thing, like, I would be super okay with them taking out of the like the peeking corners by mounting a wall. Like, if they remove that, it would be perfectly fine.
It's funny. I actually like that feature a lot so far. I really like it. It definitely feels like you play your corners and angles really tight versus just like how high can you jump, how fast can you jump around that corner, and then just like drop down to the ground and let off 1,000 shots. It still happens in certain rounds, but it feels like I don't have to be that player to still have a good time.
Yeah, my only issue with that though, so like if you do that is like one of the big issues with you doing like mounted corners and stuff like that. Viewing angles needs to be the same on both perceived sides if you're having the same thing.
True.
In this, it doesn't happen that way. You can mount one corner and get a completely different viewing angle by like a good 4 to 5 inches versus somebody else entering the same way.
Yeah, because if you mount the corner, like the profile that you're creating on the other person's end is like, holy shit, that corner that I saw nothing from literally had a bullet shoot out of it. But from your end, you have a very clear line of sight.
Yeah, like that part they need to fix a little bit if they're going to keep it, but apart from that, I've been enjoying it. Yeah,
the models should be a little more exposed if you're going to use that system to peek up and stuff.
So I agree with Danny. Like, I felt like the beta was definitely different. It did feel like it was a run and gun then, and now it's a little more tactical. I kind of compare it to like the way I see it is I'm trying to play it like it's Counter-Strike. Like, there's more tactical to it. There's more teamwork involved because they have the gameplay slower now. And on top of that, I feel like part of the reason why the gameplay is the way it is because now we're playing with PC players and console players. And I feel like the PC players like to play more tactical, or like, sit there and control the map, and we're just going to get spawn killed. So like, I think part of the reason why it's like that is the PC players. I feel like they definitely play different than the whole running gun. On a controller, it's easy to just run and gun and have fun. You got PC players sitting there trying their best to get every corner and angle they can get. because like I definitely have never played against people like we're playing against now when I used to play Call of Duty, or even when I tried like Black Ops and Advanced Warfare. No one, obviously, it's all running gun. But yeah, I definitely think it's the PC players, and I definitely feel the difference coming from beta to now. It's a lot more tactical and slowed down, and you can't just rush in unless you're gonna sit there and like. I know we've seen a couple of streamers that sit there and sit in the bathroom and fucking use a shotgun and sit there and wait for people to run through the door.
Yeah, I specifically have a class that's called Fuckboy with a shotgun and a P90. It's fucking great. So I mean, as far as I only have like a couple of like nitpicky bullshit that I have with the game. The one thing that's really fucking annoying, which is a personal problem, is I need to rewire my brain to get into. It's like there's shit that just doesn't work anymore. Like before, I remember I used to do when I first started streaming on Ustream, and I forgot what Call of Duty I was playing. I used to do pistol only streams. It's like I with console or with controller, it's super easy to have a trigger finger with a pistol. But the way that they have the timing of like when you can shoot with the pistol, it seems like a trigger finger doesn't matter anymore. So you're just gonna get the same shots off, which I haven't unlocked all of the attachments for the pistol, so that'll obviously more than likely change when you get more attachments for it. But I feel like it's one, I have to remap my brain, and two, I feel like it could just be me being weird, but I feel like the maps are stacked to where one side definitely has an advantage as far as the spawn point, specifically for domination. Like there's certain sides where I like on the map with the train and like the shipping yard, if you don't spawn if you spawn where the train is and you lose B, it's super easy to get fucked in the spawn. And there's a couple of maps where it's like that. So I mean, I don't know if they can like, I don't know A, if they're gonna fix that, or B, if they can by just adjusting the spawns, which that's a whole thing in itself. The spawn points are super fucked. Like it could be like where you'll spawn and you'll get lucky and get a kill with somebody that's right in front of you, or it'll be on the opposite side where you're just running and out of nowhere somebody spawns and just destroys you in like 2 seconds. So like obviously they may not be able to fix that, and that could just be me just being like bitching about what I can find a nitpick on the game. But I don't know. I feel like specifically they should fix the spawns, which I think we've been complaining about that since Call of Duty came out to begin with.
Yeah, headquarters also needs some fine-tunement on where it's going to put the next spawn point in between a bulk of where the winning the team that had control of it last versus the team that needs to gain control of it. Because there was a couple matches we played where it really kept favoring the people that just fucking had it. Like it would put it really close in relation to where they were versus the fight that we had to put to go get it. Like it didn't feel even whatsoever. Like every time a new spawn point would come up, that we had an even opportunity to try and get it. It didn't feel that way at all that one game.
So it's today specifically, when I was playing only headquarters just to see if that was an issue. And for a couple of games, it was like for sure that was the case. But overall, I was seeing where it was an even mix, where there's some games where it's completely randomized, and also it's based on the map as well, where it'll be randomized where the headquarter will go. But there were some times where every time we would lose the headquarter, where the next team spawned, that's exactly where the headquarter was. And the reason why I wanted to play that is because I didn't want us just to be shitting on headquarters and be like, well, we only played a couple games of it. So today I was only playing headquarters and team deathmatch, and I was able to see that for sure that's an issue, but it wasn't as big of an issue as we thought it was initially.
So it feels more RNG fucking everything up than anything else?
Yeah.
What about you, Merc? Anything else to go in on?
I agree with the spawns, because that map with the one that has like the warehouses and the train tracks.
Yeah, we're talking about the same map. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that whole you get a chopper, dude, is so fucked, bro. Like, with one, they can control it, and then they're gonna sit there and keep you right by where that Jeep is on A side, where A flag is, and literally keep you there. And that happened to us, I think, twice yesterday.
More than that shit.
And that shit's ridiculous, because as soon as you go in, you're automatically taking damage. There's no kind of spawn protection or nothing.
Overall, are you guys happy with the purchase, or do you feel you've got, I don't know, like you bought into hype, or do you feel overall that the game is an improvement from the last COD you guys have played?
Initially, I feel like I got like, fuck. I was enticed by another good beta, and I got like fucking, I'm stuck with a shitty game for a year. But now, after like really like fucking getting into it, I feel like the future looks bright for Call of Duty. And not to be like a shitty cliche answer, but I feel like it's definitely going in the right direction. And as long as I can figure out a way to get better at it, I'll probably buy next year's as well.
Yeah, like I said, as someone that the last online COD I played was Modern Warfare 2, this definitely feels leaps and bounds different for me. There's a lot more variety in playstyle, things that are being offered, the whole gun customization. Like, I really enjoyed the beta, and buying the full game did not disappoint, and I still feel like I made a really good purchase with this one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the hell out of it.
So I think that wraps up the COD talk. I feel like we did a good job of giving our opinions and going over it thoroughly. What do you got for us, Corndog, in this week's conundrum?
The Corndog conundrum. Alright. If rock, paper, and scissors all fought at the exact same time, who wins? Now, to add a little spice, I'll define what each one is. So we have Plymouth Rock. Okay. For paper, we have a 75-foot parrot-shaped kite. And we have a pair of ceremonial scissors wielded by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Are you on fentanyl?
Who you got?
Wow.
Wait, so does The Rock, like, what forces The Rock?
What?
Not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but the actual Rock.
He's Plymouth Rock.
I don't know what, let me look that up. I have no idea.
Yikes.
Is that a comic thing?
That's a history thing, guy. That's a United States
Yikes.
formation of our country. But alright, guys, cool.
Okay, so wait. Okay, with that knowledge now, because I'm a fucking idiot, what does that have to do? Like, what forces The Rock?
Literally just a stone, dude.
Yeah, but the reason why he said like Plymouth Rock is just to make it not just any kind of rock,
So
but a
you-
rock
yeah,
with
so you have a
historical
visual here.
significance, I guess.
Okay, so it literally means nothing as far as like strength.
Mount Rushmore, is that working any better?
Still though, like, this question is stupid. Do you get what I'm saying, dude? Like, what? Okay, it's like a
Like what kind? Like, does it give it plus 10 or anything? Like it has no attribute.
yeah, like-
It doesn't affect anything.
If you want to think of it as a regular ass rock and a regular ass piece of paper with some fucking Scotch brand scissors, you do you. But if they all fight at the same time, who wins?
all right, so the rock can't move, so
neither can the scissors or the paper.
but the scissor is being wielded by somebody. So if anything, it has the upper hand in any way you think about it. Because you said what the paper was a giant kite, a parrot.
He's just representing paper.
Scissors.
It did.
Scissors would have to win.
How?
Scissors.
Scissors is being wielded by somebody. So
Dwayne
that
"The Rock" Johnson. Hell yeah.
doesn't even matter who the fuck. It's a pair of scissors versus somebody with a kite. You can cut the string. You win.
No, you're cutting the paper, dumbass. It's rock, paper, scissors.
It's a kite, jackass. You can cut the string. All right, I'm
It's
bringing
just for a
logic into
visual
this.
thing.
All right,
It's
God
a
damn it.
visual representation.
Wait, so if it's fighting Plymouth Rock, it's surrounded by water. I'm not Googling this. So it'll rust the scissors, so we have that.
Just don't dip your scissors into salt water. You'll be fine.
Oh, but you have to get into where the rock is to fight it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's water surrounding it. So A, the fucking kite will get soggy, and B, the scissors will rot.
Yeah, but water's not part of the fight. It's just the rock, the paper, and the scissors.
You're making really specific rules. This is
It's a simple
conundrum.
question.
Fucking
It's really not, because we're using
It's not
the
at all.
information provided and using logic.
I was just
And
trying to help you get a visual. If you want to think of it as like a fist-sized rock and a regular ass 11 by 9 piece
your
of paper,
visual confused me.
all right, then lose the visual. A rock, a paper, a scissors. They all fight who wins.
On a school desk. All right, let's put that regular sheet of paper, regular piece of fucking regular rock, and some scissors.
We definitely don't win because we're fucking looking at this and analyzing this. So I think we're the losers in this.
My brain has potatoed so hard with this entire thing.
I'm sorry.
All right, so they go at it. Man,
Because what I got down to is that it would be almost like an infinite fight between rock and paper. Because scissors are eventually going to wear out. Because if you cut paper,
isn't the paper though? Too?
No, because think about this. If you cut a
'Cause you
piece of
can cut
paper
a
in
whole
half,
paper.
now you got 2 pieces of paper.
it's like the philosophical
but
question:
isn't one dead though?
immovable object and the
How?
unstoppable
It's not,
force.
because it's
Exactly.
not like a fucking atom. You don't cut it and then it turns into two and two separate beings.
If
What,
I
paper?
take a piece of paper and cut it in half, I got 2 pieces of paper.
Correct.
No, you have one broken piece of paper.
I would
You
say
get
it's
2
two pieces of paper, not one broken piece of paper.
If you
Because
take the
what's the difference
scissors-
between an 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 17? They're just smaller pieces of like a bigger piece of paper.
Are
But
we
it's a
literally talking
broken
about the
piece
glue?
of paper.
This is literally a glass half empty, half full conversation. What
Yes.
the fuck?
And if you
Oh,
take the
God.
scissors and you just try to force it through the rock, even though rock beats scissors because we all play the game. Like, even if you chip away at it, you're just making smaller rocks.
See, but you're thinking like
Logically.
no, you're
No,
not.
we tried that. We tried that, and you
There's
said we
no
couldn't do
fucking
that.
logic at all.
This is.
Like,
Has
there's
anyone
no
ever played
fucking-
rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's an easy question.
and even then, I have
No, it's
questions
not.
about some of the rules in that fucking game. Like, how the fuck does paper beat rock?
It covers it.
You can still throw a rock, a paper-covered piece of rock at somebody and win.
The rock's not fighting a person, it's fighting paper and scissors.
I don't know if this is hood rock paper scissors, but we've played with guns in this game as well.
No,
But
it's
even
rock,
then,
paper,
so
scissors.
if rock was coming at a piece of paper and you held up the paper with enough force, the rock can go right through the paper. I've never understood how paper beats rock in this game.
Because
it
it
covers it.
suffocates it.
It's not
What the
breathing.
fuck?
It's not sentient, so how are you suffocating it? You're encasing it, sure, but how is that winning?
Look, how are you cutting 2 pieces of paper or one piece in half and then 2 are fighting a fucking rock?
Easy, you cut it in half and I got 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
No.
It's not like I cut a piece of paper in half and I can't write on one of them.
I can only imagine
Depending on the size of the paper.
the fucking just absolute rabbit hole Merc is falling into right now.
he got up and
You
walked
guys are
away.
mid conversation, and he's trying to fucking wrap his head around: is a torn piece of paper 2 papers or just damaged paper? Now he's over there trying to sit on the fucking couch because it's his safe space. You guys are fucking this man up, man.
Yo, here's a Merc's brain right here when this loads. That's what Merc is mentally like right now.
Go fuck yourself.
But we still got to pick a winner and explain why.
So I think it's a never-ending fight between rock and paper.
I think
I even tried to
there's
go
not
out the
any
Pokemon
winners.
route.
but not scissor, because eventually scissor will dull out. Even if it does
Exactly.
cut infinite amounts of paper, it will dull out on the paper or the rock. So
But what if the scissors are made out of titanium?
Titanium
It
is
would
a
still lose
less
its edge.
sharp metal.
Yeah,
any kind of metal is eventually going to lose its edge, and you would have to resharpen it.
Yeah, titanium actually loses its edge a lot faster.
What if it was made out of carbon fiber?
Wait, what? Same thing. Anything with an edge will eventually dull over time. So out of resilience, out of the paper and rock just being stubborn, the scissors will lose their edge at one point.
so we all
So
agree
now they have
scissors is
emotions.
useless.
Now they what?
Now they have emotions, so they're doing this out of spite.
All right, dial it back, guy. Just come back a little. Just You're trying to go a little too far on that one. How did it have emotions?
Because you said they're doing it out of spite.
Not I said doing it out of spite. I said that eventually the edge will dull out on the scissors.
You said that the paper and the rock are fighting out of spite, and that the
I mean
scissors are
stubbornness and resilience of the actual matter itself. Like you take the paper and you can cut it infinitely as much as you want down to like little microscopic pieces, but eventually the blade edges will dull out a bit. So can we agree that scissors is out of the fight?
Yes,
No.
scissors is gone.
No. Okay. So defend scissors, boom.
This motherfucker went to the washroom.
I'm out of this conversation. My brain hurts way too much.
Yeah, I don't. Why do you always do this to us, dude?
I haven't done one of these since the first one.
I agree. Scissors is out the fight. That's now that for me personally, the debate is between rock and paper.
Now, here's something that me and my brothers tried to do. We're like, all right, let's say paper can condense back down and become a tree again, because roots can break rock, right?
But that's not.
Exactly.
No,
This is a
no.
different rabbit hole. I'm just going down a different rabbit hole because there's a lot we can go down. So then I went to the route, why don't we just have Geodude fight Sudowoodo from Pokemon? But then that got blown open when I remembered that Sudowoodo's a rock type, but he's a fucking tree.
Yep.
So that's useless.
I think you need to stop talking to your brothers.
Why? They're great people. I think you should talk to them more.
Boom
They
Bap's
spent
magical
money.
solution is like sever your fucking
is a
bond
joke,
with your
dude.
family. Like you're not allowed to be close to your brothers anymore.
Bro, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. I can do this shit in person.
Is that sound like we're gonna have guests on that episode?
Thanksgiving's what? A Thursday?
Oh shit, yeah.
Man, I'll be in Western Illinois.
So boom,
Getting
you still stand
hammered.
by scissors is still in the fight?
I stand by we're the losers in this scenario.
Yes.
Wait.
But scissors is definitely out of the fight.
I plead the fifth.
Alright, paper and rock.
I mean, it takes,
I mean, they're both gonna turn into fucking sand by the end of this.
I would say rock probably wins.
So I think rock is just too tough.
Yeah, because I mean, if you put weather into it and erosion, well, paper's gone within a couple days. Rock will be there for a little while.
Yeah, alright, I'll give you that. If weather's playing into it, it's like what Boom said. Like, if you're by the ocean, it'll get soggy, it'll
Like
lose its integrity, its
the-
structure. But rock,
the
even if you
unbeatable
break
one-
it down, even if you turn it down into sand, like it's still
Tiny rocks.
Yeah. Alright, I'll give you rock.
I think rock wins.
I would say rock.
The unbeatable one is water, but water, you can't throw water in rock, paper, scissors.
You can throw ice, and ice is water, according to Brown.
Ice is water.
Ice-
It's a different
yeah,
form
ice
of
is
water.
Thank
It's one of the states of water. Gas,
He's over
liquid,
here.
solid.
He was getting
So-
mad
so
at me at work
based-
for this shit.
Based on that argument, you can throw.
It's not even an argument. It's
Not,
just
not in
science.
rock, paper, scissors.
It's literally, dude, I had this conversation for like 30 fucking minutes. I just got tired of it. I was like, fuck it.
Ron's like, you win. Fuck it. All right, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I fucking won.
But you didn't, because you're still water. Ice is fucking water.
Science just proved this shit years ago, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. You can take today, dude.
Hell yeah. I will.
Like when you put water under a microscope, and you're like, oh no, it froze. Oh shit, its elements changed. It's
Yeah,
no
now
longer
it's-
H2O.
It's
now
hydrogen, 3
H2O.
oxygen. It's like, what the fuck is this?
You guys can joke all you
No,
want.
it's
I fucking won.
H2OI. It's 2 hydrogen, and oxygen, and an ice.
Hey, you guys can laugh all you want. I fucking won the argument twice.
It's like Pokemon, it just changes form.
Evolved.
Ice is the evolved form.
It's the evolution.
Fuck me, dude.
Yo, that's why it has to be 32
That's
degrees, because
rough.
it has to be level 32 to level.
Fuck, dude. That was literally like 30 minutes of my life. I just could have taken back instantaneously. I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm turning around. There's no winning
Did you
this.
call out of work sick the next day? Because I think that's grounds to do that shit, dude.
Like, you already know that meme where the dude just sitting in the shower on his way to work and then sitting at his desk at home, sitting at the desk at work and just has the same face.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was
that's my
me
thought.
after this fucking conversation. I was like, how the fuck?
Hey, I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
And you argued a false point.
But all right,
But
so
I
so
fucking
the
won.
the
So
real
hard.
I
question
won.
is, boom, were you arguing from a point of trolling, or is this like what you actually believe?
No, it was trolling.
Okay,
I played the fifth.
Trolling.
Oh god.
because I was about to
All right,
say,
man.
you know, Boom's over here thinking Earth is flat and shit.
That's another discussion for another day. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for our most recent episode of The Other Controller. We are on YouTube, Anchor, and Spotify. If you guys want to check us out. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that notification bell and do subscribe. It really helps. Thank you guys so much for checking us out and have a wonderful week.
Later.